An inside bar pattern is a continuation pattern. Continuation pattern. It can also be a reversal pattern, but based on my own experience, it is a weak pattern if it's used as a reversal. This is a continuation pattern. So on beginner class, we do dojis, we do engulfing bars, we learn all about different candlestick patterns. So people just learn, but they don't apply those things. But from what I've learned, the only pattern that I use the most is an inside bar pattern. So an inside bar pattern can be used as an entry confirmation. It can be used as an entry confirmation. You can analyze the market, have the best analysis ever, but when it comes to having a proper confirmation, you don't know what to look out for. Oops, sorry about that. You don't know what to look out for. So here we'll be using inside bar pattern as confirmations, right? So an inside bar can also represent a pullback. A pullback can also represent a pullback. I'll show you how. And an inside bar can easily identified on M5 time frames. The reason I use lower time frame like M5 is because it gives me more opportunities of re-entries, and the waiting is not that bad. More opportunities of re-entries. So imagine using inside bars on things like H4. It means that I will have to wait for 4 hours for each and every candlestick to close. So inside bars can also represent the beginning of consolidation. Consolidation phase, I've already shown you, is when the strength of buyers is slightly equal to the strength of sellers. So it makes the market chop, it makes the market slow down. So that's why I also say inside bar pattern represent a pause in the market. So it is the representation of consolidation phase, consolidation market, which do represent a pause in the market. Remember, market must breathe, and then it can easily be identified on let me say, it can easily be identified after a strong move. So remember, a strong move is a trend, and on the previous session I was explaining how I understand a trend. So I said a trend, I'll just delete what is up here. I believe you took notes. I've already explained that a trend can be in a form of a long sized candlestick, a long sized candlestick can also be in a form of a series of same colored candlesticks, minimum of three. So this series can be called three white soldiers, either bullish soldiers, either bullish or bearish. I will show you how. And then again, when it comes to inside bars, this also has to do with fundamentals. Strong movements, in most cases, strong moves are caused by fundamentals. So before identifying the market structures or analyzing, first check investing.com and then check what major news do we have today. You only look at strong news, like news that has 3 bulls. If you go there to investing.com and go to filters, you can filter only 3 shaded news that shows the importance. So this is more important. We also have 2 bulls, also have 1. The one with 3 shades, it simply means that these are the most volatile news that moves the market. So imagine we have news at 8, or maybe for USD. So you know that 8 o'clock, every pair that has USD will be moving strong because of the fundamentals, meaning that it is time for me to be identifying or to be waiting for inside bar patterns to pop up. And again, when it comes to inside bar patterns, you must note that they don't work in isolation. So meaning that you can still use inside bar patterns if you have identified if you are using zones, if you have identified your level of resistance and support, if you are using trends. There are people who only trade based on trends. I've already explained what makes trends based on the old style, zones, support and demand, but I won't be explaining how zones work, how resistance and support works. I'll only be focusing on trends. And we have only two types of inside bars. We have a bearish inside bar, and also a bullish inside bar. We only identify a bearish inside bar when the market is strongly moving down. When the market is strongly moving down, and bullish when the market, bullish inside bars, I'll just use IB, when the market is strongly moving up. So meaning that when the market is strongly creating an impulsive movement, it simply means that an impulsive movement going up, it means that the only thing I'll be checking is bullish inside bar. When the market is strongly falling, the only thing I'll be checking is bearish inside bars. So I will illustrate on how inside bar patterns form, so you don't have to stress yourself. This is the most easiest strategy on earth. It only requires patience and more practice if you want to be consistent. Remember, you can use 100 strategies, but I believe that using one strategy and then being consistent with the same strategy can make you a profitable trader. So I'll start with a bearish inside bar pattern. Remember, this strategy is all about breakouts. So also here we'll be dealing with breakouts of an inside bar. Previously we were dealing with breakouts of order blocks. So this is a bearish inside bar. This is a bullish inside bar. So an inside bar is something that looks like this. Inside bar is something that looks like, I haven't done anything. The only thing is that it moves with two pairs of candlestick, two pairs. This pattern works in pairs, right? So what happened now is that a bearish one consists of a long size candlestick first, which is called a mother bar. So this candlestick is what we call a mother bar. This is a mother bar, this is a baby bar. So they must be in opposite candlesticks. So this pattern is what we call a bearish inside bar. A mother bar should be bigger than the baby bar. So in these cases, it means that since this is bullish, it's gonna be like this. This is a bullish inside bar right here. And you must know that on the beginner course, we were taught that the highest part of the candlestick is what we call a high, and the lower part of the candlestick is what we call a low. So I'll just use abbreviation. I'll use H for high, L for low, H for high, L for low, L for low. Okay, let me try this so you can see what is down there. Okay, so what happened now is that on bearish inside bar, we focus on the low of the mother bar. So this is the low of the mother bar. And then on the bullish inside bar, we focus on the high of the mother bar. We focus on the high of the mother bar. On the bearish inside bar, we focus on the low of the mother bar. this doesn't change at all. This doesn't change at all. So for me to qualify that this is an inside bar pattern, I check on the mother bar. I'll just use M. On the mother bar, I check the high and low. On the baby bar, I check the body size. The body size. On the mother bar, I check the high and low distance. And then on the baby bar, I check the body size. The body size. So for you to qualify the mother bar, for you to say this is like an inside bar, the body, the baby, like the body of the body size of the baby bar should be within the height of the high and the low of the mother bar. So it means that if the baby bar here had the longest tail here that exceeds this distance here, we're still gonna consider this as an inside bar, because we said we only focus on the body, not the low and high of the baby. So it doesn't matter if it has the longest tail like this. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the body within this height. If yes, it means that that's an inside bar pattern. If yes, it means that that's an inside bar pattern. So same applies to here. Is the body of the baby bar within this high and low of the mother bar? Is the body covered on the low price and the high price of the mother bar? If the body size is inside, that's what we call an inside bar. It qualifies to be a proper inside bar. So like I said, we are dealing with the breakouts. So the reason I said on a bearish inside bar, we focus on the low. It means that this low of the mother bar is where we locate the breakout line. This low of the mother bar, this high of the mother bar is where we locate the breakout line. So what I'm gonna do is that I'll do this. This is what I'm gonna do. I'll just redraw this again so you don't forget. So remember, I said inside bar patterns are located after strong movements. Strong movements meaning fundamentals. If there's no fundamentals, if you're trading it maybe via VIX, where there's no fundamentals, you just focus on the long size candlestick or on the three white soldiers, which is the three candlestick of the same color moving in the same direction. So what happened now, since this is a bearish inside bar, mother bar followed by a baby bar. So I said on the bearish inside bar, we only focus on the low. We only focus on the low of the mother bar, meaning that on that low of the mother bar, I'm going to have a breakout line here, a breakout line, a breakout level or line, and then this is a bullish inside bar. So the location, it doesn't matter if it's here or here. The only thing is that is the body of the next candlestick within the higher and the lower. If yes, and then that's an inside bar. Because I'm saying this because sometimes an inside bar can be in this format. This is the low, this is the high. This is still an inside bar pattern, even though they look the same size. The only thing that matters is that the leading candlestick high and low covers the body of the next candlestick. So let me just use it as a proper inside bar like that, right? So here on a bullish inside bar, because we're focusing on the higher price, we locate the breakout line here. We locate the breakout line here. So meaning that on a bullish inside bar, we don't even touch the lower price. On a bearish inside bar, we don't even touch the higher price. We only focus on the lower price because this is a bearish inside bar. Here we only focus on the higher price because that's the bullish inside bar, right? So this means that the breakout of this low, it gives us a sell signal. and then the breakout of that high, it gives us a buy signal. This confirms a buy signal, meaning that if you are wise and you have identified an inside bar, what you can do is to put a pending order here of a sell exactly at this level or at this line. And then what can happen here is that you can put a pending order here of a buy, and then the moment the market touches the moment the candlestick touches like your candle, you like your breakout line here, and then your entry execute, like it triggers out. So it means that any candlestick that might come touch here, even if it reverse, it will open your buy signal. So you wait. So if you just want to wait if you don't want to put a pending order, the only thing you can do is to just wait for the candlestick to touch here and then start executing buy signals. The reason I said this bearish inside bar can also represent a pullback is because of this. Remember, I said this is a continuation. Obviously, if it's a continuation, the candlestick that must come touch here should be a bullish because it's going up. So it means that market went up and then it retraced and then it's going up again. So this inside bar patterns you will easily understand it when I do practical example on MT4. But this is the only thing that you must only focus on. Identify the bearish inside bar, and then check the high and the low, and check the on the next candlestick, second candlestick, which can be considered as a baby bar. You check if the body is within these two heights. If yes, that's an inside bar. Same applies here. Identify a bullish inside bar, check if the body of the baby bar candlestick is within the lower price and the higher price. If yes, and then that's an inside bar. And then I usually use M5 because it's easy to wait for candlesticks. M5 for entries. If you consider using H1 or H4 or daily, you should be a swing trader. It means that you are basically checking the market structure. You are checking if the market will have continuations or not. So this is like for market structure. But M5 is for entries. This is how you'll be snippering your entries.